woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost the traction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 981st edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Wednesday, June 28th of 2023. It is good to have you in this afternoon. We are streaming live. We're not megacasting because I'm running a little bit behind on time. It is what it is. But we are live on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, MGTOW.tv, and of course in crystal clear, high-resolution 4K to Sharpe Stream. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Here we go. Shout out to my sharpshooters on the Sharpe Stream side. Shout out to my snipers on the Sharpe Stream side. Shout out to my sharpshooters on the YouTube side. Yes, Eben Zuer says 19 more episodes until the big 1,000th episode. What a milestone, man. I got to tell you, man. It is hard to believe. It is hard to believe that I have done 981 of these. It is just absolutely incredible. I mean, never in a million lifetimes would I have ever thought that I would get to 1,000 episodes. Now, I'm not there yet, but I'm thankful. Listen, if I'm to be snuffed out between now and episode 1,000, hey man, 981 episodes that's a pretty damn good run. That is a damn good run if you ask me. I don't think that's anything to hang my head about. And I don't know. I might plan on, I may plan on doing something, fun for the 1,000th episode. Of course, we will relive all of the most legendary TSR live moments, which is always all kinds of fun. Luke Red Pill Perry, with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that very much. Says, I need this daily dose. Thank you. Yes. A lot of you guys, well, some of you guys have actually seen and or heard this video and the contents in it. Most of you have not. And so what I'm going to do between now and episode 1,000 is I'm going to kind of take it back to, I'm going to do some old school, red pill teachings that I used to teach back in the day. Just to kind of get back to the basics. I think that one thing that a lot of, let me back this up because I'm coming in way too loud. One thing that I've quickly come to understand about content creation is that most of your subscribers have not seen most of your content. When people subscribe, generally they go back to, I don't know, maybe back 30 days. If it's in their suggestions, but by and large, most of your subscribers watch all of your new stuff. Well, every once in a while, it does do my audience some good just to kind of do sort of a red pill refresher course. We've got 19 episodes to go, which is almost 3 weeks. So almost 3 weeks from today, again, barring any unforeseen circumstances, we will be hitting episode 1,000. But today's episode, I think, is going to help a lot of you guys out. I think it really, really will. Real quick. Just want to address something real quick. So the Women's World Cup is coming up. The Women's World Cup is coming up. And I will be rooting hard against Team USA. I will be rooting hard. And guys, look, man. Look, Devin will tell you that I'm the most patriotic person when it comes to sports. I am Team USA all the way. I'm Team USA in soccer. I'm Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. I'm Team USA in the Olympics. I'm Team USA in hockey. I'm Team USA for men and women's sports through and through. Yes, this country has a lot of faults, but it's still the greatest country in the world. People come here because this is the land of opportunity. The United States is the reason why I've been able to be successful as I have been. And so I'm not going to besmirch my country to that point. However, I am sick and goddamn tired of the U.S. women's national team running their mouths. Now they've got the equal pay. And so there's this ad campaign for the Women's World Cup. Basically, Team USA is acting like this is a coronation. How do we stop Team USA? Well, we can do X, Y, and Z. They have people from different countries. It's kind of like they're kind of making fun of themselves. Well, we can play nicely, we can play dirty. And then Alex Morgan looks at the screen and says, "Yeah, good luck with that." Like, seriously? So not only I'm done. I'm tired of women's soccer. I'm tired of them running off at the mouth. I'm tired of Megan Rapinoe. I'm tired of Alex Morgan. I'm tired of Carly Lloyd. I'm tired of all of these bitches. I'm tired of all of them. And now the ad campaign is basically saying, yeah, we know we're going to win. Good luck with that. That's not very feminine at all. It's very masculine. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. So at any rate, I just wanted to talk that out. Let's see here. Al Mustafa says, "Do you have something special for the 1000th? Congratulations, by the way. I don't know. Not yet. 21st Century Viking, whom I've never seen in the chat or the comments before, says Donovan's content is really sharp, though I think he could short it out 25% of the time if he didn't repeat himself as much. Listen, that's a verbal tick of mine. I repeat myself a lot. If you don't like it, then you can unsubscribe. We all have our verbal ticks. We all do. What was one? There was one big time content creator that says you know a lot. I used to say listen a lot. You know, this is just how it is. Myron has verbal ticks, and here's the other thing too, right? Myron mispronounces words like preface. He says preface. It is what it is. So if me repeating myself several times bugs you that much, I mean, I appreciate the suggestion, but it's a verbal tick. And while I'm always looking to improve, I think repeating myself is what allows me to sort of think out loud and on the fly. So at any rate, that's really what's going on. So so without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. 7 ways modern women stupefy modern men. Now, everybody has weaknesses, guys, right? Me, you, everybody watching and listening, we all have weaknesses. We all have an Achilles heel or two. Most of us have more than that, right? Now, keep in mind that not all weaknesses are created equal. Most weaknesses that any given person has are minor and relatively inconsequential. It may inconvenience them for a short period of time or maybe impede their progress, but by and large, minor weaknesses don't completely derail you. Now, of course, on the opposite side of that coin, we have the major weaknesses. Now, these are the things that can turn our lives upside down, things that can destroy us mentally, physically, psychologically, and sometimes even spiritually, which is really, really bad. I'm not the most spiritual guy in the world, but just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you're religious. Now, as we get older and a bit more experienced, minor weaknesses can become major weaknesses, and major weaknesses can become minor weaknesses. We live and learn, we adjust and evolve, and we learn to mitigate our weaknesses, and sometimes, if we're lucky, we can turn them into strengths. Now, there are 2 things that make really smart men really dumb, and that is sports and beautiful women. Sports and beautiful women. I'll say it one more time for 21st Century Viking. Sports and beautiful women. And since this isn't a sports talk show, at least not yet, we are going to focus on the women part. And to be fair, let's make one thing clear, guys, right out of the gate. Okay? Women aren't a weakness, gentlemen. They're not. It is biologically normal for men to want to smash as many women as humanly possible before we kick the bucket. It's encoded in our DNA. I saw a post on Facebook a while back that said something like, if men could completely eliminate our need for sex, we would be free men. Now, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because I believe that if a man can control himself and not make bad decisions because of his thirst for women, then he is a free man. To me, that is generally how it goes. That's generally how it goes. Right? Law number 39 of the 49 Laws of Sharpe talks about the concept of post-nut clarity. Take a look and listen. Law 39. Before making a financial decision involving a woman, masturbate twice and then decide. This is a simple concept known in this community as post-ejaculation clarity, sometimes referred to as post-nut clarity. One of the few things that most men who make terrible financial decisions involving a woman have in common is that at the time of their decision, their scrotums are filled to the brim with sperm. In other words, they're extremely horny, which subconsciously tells them that if they give a woman access to his resources, then that woman will give him access to her body in return. This has clouded the judgment of smart men the world over and is responsible for copious amounts of money transferred to women without the expected sexual reciprocation. This is one of the best kept and most guarded secrets among women. The best and most effective way to avoid these decisions is to masturbate twice before making a financial decision involving a woman. Sorry about that. Men make terrible decisions based on their desire to sleep with women. We make terrible decisions based on our desire to sleep with women, right? But that's beside my point. My point is that we can wish for not wanting sex all we want. It ain't happening. Our desire for sex is programmed in us. Okay? It is biologically and evolutionarily necessary. A man's desire to have sex with women is critical to the survival of the human species. So that ain't going away, ever, unless you get castrated or neutered. Don't wish that you can it doesn't do you any good to wish that you can just not want sex. That's never happening. Rather, strive to work on yourself to build the discipline to make better decisions in the face of your desire for any given woman. But going back to what I said earlier, the reason women have been labeled as a weakness by so many men isn't because of our desire to pursue women. It is because of the risks that come with them. As recently as, 60, 70 years ago, women weren't seen as a weakness for men because women were well behaved, right? Not only were they well behaved, they knew their place. They elevated the lives of the men they were married to or in a relationship with, and they raised strong, well-adjusted children. If a man had 6 kids back in, 1959, he was considered to be blessed and fortunate. He was a man who was envied by all men because he had climbed to the pinnacle of masculinity and life purpose. A doting, dutiful wife who takes care of his brood while he works his ass off to provide for him. That's what men wanted to do. It's what we desired. But here in 2023, a man with even half that number of children is considered far from being fortunate or blessed. If he's got that many children, there's a pretty good possibility that there's more than one mother, which means child support. And we all know how detrimental child support is to a man's finances, his sanity, his mental well-being, and sometimes even his freedom, right? If a man misses a payment, he could get locked up. Not only that, he could lose his license. I mean, there are all sorts of risks involved with dealing with women, not the least of which is having kids with them. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that all 3 of his children were with the same woman and she were his wife. For the sake of argument, let's just entertain that possibility. Would we be talking about how lucky he is?
Nope.
Nope. Instead, we are counting down the days until she serves him divorce papers, which begins the process of transferring his resources directly to her. This is known in these parts as divorce rape, right? Law number 18 of the 49 Laws of Sharpe discusses feminism's 4 objectives, and one such objective is the transference of resources from men to women. The family courts see to it that this objective is routinely executed, oftentimes to perfection. The point is, guys, is that women today are not investable commodities. At least, not enough of them are. There are very few women that are investable commodities these days. Now, back in the day, you could lock down any given woman, and it was far more likely than not that she was going to be a submissive, dutiful wife who bore your children, took care of your home, took care of you, and she was happy to do it. Why was she happy to do it? Because it fulfilled her and gave her a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Clearly, that's not the case today, as most women in this country, they make bad wives, terrible girlfriends, and even worse mothers. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Most men are aware of this, y'all. We're aware of this. Even men who are unaware of the true nature of modern women know that a disproportionate amount of women aren't close to worth pursuing. The proof is all around us, guys. Just watch television, watch movies, commercials, go to Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, any other kind of media. And it's easy to see that bitches really ain't shit. Even then, the men who know these things, men who understand these immutable truths, continue to make the same mistakes over and over again with the same women. Even guys in this community. Even guys in this community are routinely getting tripped up by females. Their last, 5 or 6 girlfriends all cheated on him, and they all think the same thing. Why on God's green earth do I keep falling for these broads? I know what I'm supposed to look out for. Thanks to Donovan's 7-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up, which I got from TSRacademy.com. I know how to immediately disqualify certain women for long-term relationships, thanks to Donovan's free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. I know I'm not supposed to commit to women whom I've smashed on the first date. I know I'm not supposed to commit to single mothers. I know I'm not supposed to commit to girls with tattoos and ridiculous piercings. So why do I keep getting into relationships with women who cheat on me with either their exes or Dave the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not have an illegitimate kid with his ex-girlfriend's mother? If hindsight is always 20/20, why can I never see where I go wrong with these women? Well, the answer is simple, guys. The answer is simple. The reason you can't seem to find that point in your relationship where you lost frame and all common sense and abandoned your red pill conditioning is because these girls are using your password against you. So a lot of you guys are probably thinking, okay, Donovan, what is a password? What is my password? What are you talking about? I want you guys to watch and learn. I want you to watch and listen very, very carefully. I want you guys to watch and learn very, very carefully. Your password is a phrase, an act, a look, or anything that a woman does or says that bypasses your common sense and red pill awareness, rendering you completely blind to her red flags, vulnerable to her vagina, and causes you to make bad, irrational decisions that benefit her while simultaneously damaging you. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that for those of you who are as stubborn as I am. Your password, it is a phrase, an act, a look, or anything that a woman does or says that bypasses your common sense and red pill awareness, rendering you completely blind to her red flags, vulnerable to her vagina, and causes you to make bad, irrational decisions that benefit her while simultaneously damaging you. Now, the more game and experience a man has, the fewer action passwords he has. For example, for most guys entering the dating market, their password is just sex, right? Like if she lets him smash, he's ready to commit. He's ready to go all in. He's ready to risk it all. Now, the reason he's ready to commit so quickly and easily is because of his lack of options and experience. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it is. That's the circumstance. There's nothing wrong with him. He just lacks experience. For some guys, the password is just a blowjob because they rarely get those. She smokes his sausage even one time, and he's ready to pay her phone bill and buy her kid a new pair of Jordans for Christmas. For some guys, a fat ass is his password. For others, it's big boobs. Now, one of my physical passwords used to be blonde with big fake tits, which is why I kept making the mistake of making strippers my girlfriends, and none of those relationships ended peacefully. I took the L with every one of those girls. Now, we as men, we all have very different physical passwords, and with enough experience, we learn to divorce feelings from what we see. Personally, again, using myself as an example, I had to get to a point to where I thought to myself, okay, this chick is a solid 8. She's got great tits, a smoking ass, and long blonde hair that goes down to her ass. But the last 6 girls that looked like this all screwed me over. So I'll smash other girls on the side to keep myself from catching feelings. I'll have fun with this one for as long as I can, then move to the next girl. That is a man with experience and game. You have to be self-aware enough to catch yourself and self-correct. That's a man who has both found, consumed, and ultimately implemented the things that we teach here. However, gentlemen, girls have the internet too. This is where a lot of guys mess up. They have the internet too. They also know about what we teach here. They watch our videos. They read our articles. They know exactly what we're teaching in this sector of the web. We see response videos to us all the time. The fact of the matter is that girls aren't stupid, guys. They are starting to figure out that it takes more than just giving a man box for a little while to get men of value to commit to them long term. They're beginning to understand that just being hot and giving him box isn't going to cut it anymore when it comes down to locking down top tier men. But instead of doing the right thing, which would be to stop sleeping around, learn to cook, learn to clean, adopting a kind, pleasant, agreeable disposition, and act like, I don't know, actual feminine women, they've decided to take the easy way out. What is the easy way out? Well, these girls have started using certain words, phrases, and behaviors to disarm our red pill awareness and knowledge so that they can continue to have carte blanche to do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say, and still get commitment from high-value men. And guys, this shouldn't surprise anybody. Today's women never do what's right, and they never do what's hard. They're always looking for the shortcut. They're always looking for the cheat code. When they figured out that men didn't commit after smashing him for a few weeks, they asked themselves, where's the shortcut here? What can I do or say to this guy that will get me that commitment without really having to change anything? How can I get these men to chase my commitment without having to learn anything new, without having to learn to cook and clean, without having to change my person? What can I do? What can I do to get these guys to chase my commitment without having to learn anything new or actually make myself a better woman? And that, gentlemen, is how these cheat codes came into existence. After all of my physical passwords were disabled, after getting screwed over by enough hot girls to understand that their hotness was bypassing my red pill conditioning, I wasn't as enamored with blonde-haired bimbos anymore. Gentlemen, women these days know exactly what to do and say to bypass our common sense, our rationality, and the ability to compartmentalize certain things. This causes us to think with our emotions rather than our reason. And at that point, she's got you right where she wants you. So today, gentlemen, I am going to discuss the 7 most ubiquitous passwords that today's women like to use to completely disarm even the most hard pill or the most hardcore crimson capsule men. All right, let's take a look at these super chats. Carlos Diaz, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Carlos Diaz, to welcome him to the TSR family. If you would, Carlos, put your age and location in the chat. As is customary of all of our first members, pardon me. As is customary to with all of our first members, everybody go ahead and put your age and location in the chat. You never know. You never know. Somebody who's in here watching could live in your city. They could live in your neighborhood. They could live on your block. They could live next door. So let's everybody put their age and location in the chat. This is how these communities are built. Luke Red Pill Perry, member for 1 month, says blonde hair Says blonde hair is my password. Yeah. Whew, man, oh man. 21st Century Viking says, free advice, guys. Don't pamper your woman according to what she says she want. Give her what you want to give her. Protect and provide. Don't pamper. I love guys like 21st Century Viking, man. I love guys like that. I love guys who are clearly he's found the red pill. He's new to the community, right? He's new to the community. I appreciate the advice, but we're a little bit past that point. But keep them coming. Keep them coming, 21, because you never know. There might be someone in here that's watched for the first time. That's just how these things go sometimes. Let's see here. Manny DeBoss says, I think there's two types of chivalry. There's the obsessed with her chivalry and regular chivalry. And I think men should never give women the I'm obsessed with you chivalry. I agree with that to a degree. Chivalry is reserved for ladies. If she does not act like a lady, you don't treat her like one. We have to make it clear to these women that you are not going to get gentlemanly treatment if you are not a lady. That's it. If you are not a lady, don't expect him to be a gentleman. Mike Ray, 40 in Honolulu. Good to see you in here as well. We got people from Wichita, Kansas. Jaeger Juarez. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who's a regular on Rumble from Manchester, England. Good to see you in here. Roscoe, one of the 24 people living in South Dakota. Good to meet you. King Dingaling lives in New Jersey. Good stuff. 21st Century Viking. This is interesting. Didn't know I was red-pilled before I started actually following this manosphere. I thought I was just weird by not being average, and the only thing I eat from Thai is takeaway. Touche, my friend. Touche. Very, very good. Good stuff. We are back in a bit, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Understanding women and increasing your dating success starts with Donovan Sharpe's massive collection of award-winning books and courses. Get off to a fast start and jumpstart your masculine renaissance with the 49 Laws of Sharpe. The 49 Laws of Sharpe is the perfect quick start guide for any man new to this community looking for the answers that keep them up at night after a bad experience with a woman. So many men ask themselves, why did she cheat? How could I not see this coming? Why did I miss the signs? And how can I avoid this in the future? The 49 Laws of Sharpe will answer these questions and many more. This will give you a rock-solid foundation upon which to build, develop, and cultivate your newfound identity, and put you miles ahead of your competition. Most men have never had access to this valuable information, let alone understand and apply it. But the 49 Laws of Sharpe will give you an unfair advantage over men and women. This treasure trove of valuable knowledge is available in audio, video, ebook, and paperback. Next, supplement your newly acquired foundational knowledge, supercharge your dating life with Donovan's 25-hour course, How to Master the Game. How to Master the Game will teach you the ins and outs of the player life, overcoming approach anxiety, identifying women who you want to approach, text game, first date principles and logistics, avoiding the friend zone, and so much more will be covered extensively. Also included are the bonus podcasts that will cover how to dress, Tinder game, and much more. Put simply, How to Master the Game will turn you into a stone-cold assassin with the ladies. Available in video and audio format. If you're not the kind of guy who wants to live the bachelor life, or you've had your fill of the player life and are looking for something a little more fulfilling, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up is a must. Donovan's 5-part, 7-hour audio course will show you step-by-step how to find, cultivate, and sustain a solid, healthy relationship. Everything from selecting the right woman, to coaching and correction, to what to do between the sheets. How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up will guide you through the entire process of building the kind of woman you want and need. The strategies and techniques in this course are exactly what Donovan does in his own relationship to this day. And he is living proof that women can be beneficial to men provided they have the right instruction. And finally, the ultimate weapon all men are looking for in terms of being able to
I
read
opened
and
up to you
understand
about
women.
a concern.
Donovan Sharpe's revolutionary, one-of-a-kind course that has been called the Cheat Code, Womanese. Womanese is the first and only course of its kind that gives men the raw and honest truth about what women really mean when they communicate verbally. Womanese translates female communication with shocking accuracy and has changed the dating lives and relationships of men the world over. So many men have avoided disaster because of the preciseness and sheer volume of material in this course, which contains over 600 translations. How cool would it be to be able to see through a woman's BS and act accordingly right then and there, rather than getting blindsided when it's too late? What would it be like to have the ability to read a woman like a book based only on what she says? These abilities will be at your disposal with Womanese. Women won't be able to lie to you, cheat on you, deceive you, or take advantage of you. The time and money you'll save pays for the course almost immediately. Womanese is available in video, audio, ebook, and paperback format, and can be purchased one volume at a time or all at once. Men in his community often state that the best investment a man can make is in himself. Donovan's extensive educational materials will take your life to the next level. And the only place you can get this life-changing knowledge is tsracademy.com. Link in description.
Welcome back to the 981st edition of TSR Live. Thank you guys very much for staying with me. Guys, be sure to tune in right after the show. We are going right after the show. I will be continuing my dating show breakdown. I'll be continuing my dating show breakdown of Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight, season 13. So far, so good, man. This is a very, very educational, it's a very educational series. This is, I think, this is like the third or fourth season I've broken down of Married at First Sight. Normally, you're not able to watch live, but this season, I am streaming it live simultaneously to both Sharpe Stream and Rumble. So make sure you tune in right after that. I will have Devin put that link in the chat, and we will go from there. All right. And so, without further ado, gentlemen, here are the 7 most ubiquitous passwords that modern women like to use to disarm you, rendering you useless. Password number 1. I feel safe with you. Take a look and listen. Ukrainian or Russian girl. I think she was Ukrainian when I was in Vegas. Her name was Tatiana. She may have been Russian. I can't remember, but her name was Tatiana. I actually talked about her yesterday. Beautiful girl. Gorgeous girl. Long blonde hair. Dude, gorgeous sky blue eyes. Now, she did have small boobs, which was kind of a drawback, but she had an unbelievable ass, which more than made up for her small bra size. Anyway, Tatiana and I were walking down Flamingo Road, and I'll never forget this. And we go to cross the street, and I reached over and I pulled her back to the sidewalk because there was a motorcycle speeding along the side of the road. Now, Tatiana was maybe, 105, maybe 106 after she ate a shrimp salad, which was her favorite food in the world. So I was able to just kind of yank her back to me. She looked me in the eye and said, "Donovan, I feel so safe with you." In her thick Ukrainian accent. And I was like, no! It was like when Achilles caught that arrow in his Achilles heel. I knew she had disarmed me, guys. I knew that she had just bypassed all of my Red Pill programming, but there was nothing I could do about it. You guys ever seen that movie, Awake? It was like Hayden Christensen's character in the movie Awake when he wakes up mid-surgery because the anesthesia has worn off, but he couldn't move or talk, but he could still feel everything. He knew he was vulnerable, but there was nothing he could do about it. Fast forward. Turns out, Tatiana had a boyfriend the entire time I was dating her. And when I found out about it, guys, I was sick. Oh my God, dude. It took me a good long while to completely get over her. Like I said yesterday, man, That heartbreak was almost as bad as my heartbreak with Amy. And if you're a patron, you're going to hear about that story on Friday at 5 p.m. when I release episode 4, The Worst Heartbreak of My Life. Anyway, Tatiana had scores of red flags. But when she told me she felt safe with me, it completely blinded me to all of those things. And because of that, she was able to play me like a fiddle. I was the side dude who thought he was the main dude. I'm here to tell you guys, that is a rude awakening. And guys, the reason the phrase, "I feel safe with you," is so powerful is because it makes us feel like a man. It makes us feel like a man. When a woman verbalizes that she feels physically safe with you, it has a way of making you feel prideful, right? It has a way of making you feel prideful in the fact that a woman is putting her physical trust in you. Knowing that a woman knows, or at least can relax because she knows that you can physically protect her, is a masculine characteristic. Just like women play on our provider instinct by playing the damsel in distress, they play on our instinct to protect by verbalizing their trust in your ability to keep her from physical danger. Hearing that from a woman, gentlemen, and an attractive woman at that, really makes you feel like a man. The mistake we make is when we start to think, I am the only man she feels safe with. Right? When a beautiful woman trusts you physically and says so, it has a profound effect on you. She feels safe with me. Right? There's a lot of pride there. There's a lot of ego investment. And women know and understand this very quickly. Like I said before, women are very, very, very good at, they are very adept at tapping into a man's instinct to protect and provide. Now we exploit their instinct with game. Women like boldness, so we act bold. Women like strength, so we lift weights. Women like men that can defend themselves, so we learn to fight. Women are attracted to talent, so we cultivate talent. Now, even though these things benefit us as well, that doesn't mean that we're not tapping into their biological imperatives as well. Right? That's generally how that works. And if we have any deficiencies, we find communities like this to learn how to interact with women in such a way that makes us more attractive to them. Again, this is called game. It's just a placeholder term. It's shorthand. But the difference is that when we do it, the world calls it manipulation. But when women do it, it's perfectly okay. Now, the reason their gambits tend to be more effective than ours is because more men are trying to impress women than women are trying to impress men. Women get dick, commitment, strength, boldness, and everything else thrown at them all the time. The supply is so high, it's worth a lot less to them. Well, we as men, unless we are a top 5 to 10% man, the average man doesn't get pussy thrown at him all day, every day. Anyway, with this particular password, women don't necessarily have to say, I feel safe with you. If there's a loud noise, she'll quickly get behind you, right? If there's a fight or a shouting match going on in your proximity, she'll grab your arm and pull you closer. They do this in many, many other ways. When a woman says or shows that she feels safe with you, she might actually feel safe with you. But be very cognizant of your reaction when she does this. And most importantly, do not let her see that it has affected you. If she says, I feel so safe with you, just nonchalantly say, cool, and don't look at her. Do not give her the impression that this has affected you, because if you do, she will see this as your password and will push that button until you are under her complete control. Password number 2. You have the biggest sausage I've ever had, I've ever taken. Law number 28 of the 49 Laws of Sharpe states that you will never be her first, her only, her biggest, or her best. Take a look and listen. Law 28.
You will never be her first, her only, her biggest, or her best. Do not make the egregious mistake of believing a woman when she tells you, "You have the biggest cock I've ever seen." She tells you this to make you feel special and to make you think she can't get from anyone else what she gets from you, resulting in Law 28. You will never be her first, her only, her biggest, or her best. Do not make the egregious mistake of believing a woman when she tells you, "You have the biggest cock I've ever seen." She tells you this to make you feel special and to make you think she can't get from anyone else what she gets from you, resulting in your mind that your girl, or a woman you're dating, has been fucked better, has had bigger dicks in her than yours, and has done everything under the sun at least 24 times, with at least 24 men, will make things much easier when she tells you that the 6'4" black guy the two of you awkwardly ran into at the grocery store used to pound her senseless. This is part of the game. It's not easy to accept this, but you must.
The reason why women tell you that you have the biggest sausage they've ever had is simple. It's to stroke our egos. Right? This again plays on another male instinct, which is to be a woman's very best lover. And in a man's mind, the bigger the sausage you have, the better a lover you are. Obviously, this is not the case a lot of times. I'm sure that there are dudes out there who have cocktail wiener-sized sausages who can make women gush like the Niagara Falls. But even those guys wish they had bigger you-know-whats. Hell, even I want a bigger you-know-what, and I'm well above average. It's just a man thing. So the real question is, why is having a huge dong so important to us? Why does it have such an intense effect on the male id when a woman tells us that she's the biggest we've ever had? Well, I'm sure that there are many answers to this, but the first one that jumps into my mind is that it almost works as like a secondary sort of virginity, right? If a woman actually convinces you that you are the biggest she's ever had, her body count ceases to matter to you, right? Women know that if they actually talk you into believing that you have the biggest dong she's ever had in her, she knows that no matter how many guys she's been with, you're going to think, okay, so she's been with 74 guys, but I'm the biggest she's ever had, so no one has penetrated her like I have. She's never felt that kind of sex before. Long time ago, I mentioned her. This was years ago. This was back when I was like 20 years old. I dated this spinner. She's a hot little dude. She was a hot little piece of ass, dude. She was 4'11", like 90 pounds. Damn it. She was 4'11". She was 90 pounds. And her name was Allison, right? She told me one time, "You have the biggest dick I've ever taken." Now, you know, I have a pretty good sized sausage, and Allison was a small girl. She was a small girl. And I used to, every time I went up in there, like, I could feel her cervix. And it wasn't like my dick was just touching it. No, like I could feel her cervix. So maybe, at the time, she may have been telling the truth, right? But but in any other situation, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Women also like to tell us that we are the best lover she's ever had. But guys, that is never the truth. As much as women get pounded out these days, it is a mathematical certainty that your woman has been smashed by bigger and better sausages than you. Guys, I am 244% certain that I am not the biggest dick Devin's ever taken. And I am 847% certain that I am not the best she's ever had. She hasn't told me this, but knowing women like I do, I know this to be true. And honestly, guys, I couldn't give less of a shit. I really couldn't. Now, these days I care a little bit more. Just a little bit more, because I am getting older, and I do care a little bit more about Devin, and my performance is not what it used to be. It's not that I actually care whether or not she has an orgasm, but in my mind, the ability to give her the silent shakes is more about me stroking my ego. I don't think to myself, oh great, Devin had an orgasm tonight. I'm so happy for her. Nah, fam. I'm thinking, yeah, I gave that bitch the silent shakes with my rod of God. It literally has nothing to do with her satisfaction and everything to do with my own ego. And if any man is being honest, they would think the same thing. Giving a woman an orgasm has nothing to do with giving her pleasure and everything to do with you being like, yeah, I gave that bitch the silent shakes. Anyway, As a man, you need to resolve in your mind that you are highly unlikely to be the best lover she's ever had. You are even less likely to be the biggest she's ever taken. Now, you can certainly change these things, but it takes time. And if that is something you want to undertake for your own ego's sake, I'm not mad at you. But for the time being, just understand that you will never be her biggest or her best. This is why Law 11 states that the less you care about pleasing her in bed, the more she will care about pleasing you. And guess what? This has absolutely nothing to do with your size or your performance. Just be a selfish bastard with her in bed, and she will be unselfish with you. Guys, this has never, ever failed me. The more I cared about a woman's needs in bed, the less she cared about mine. So when I stopped caring, they started caring. Anyway. I've had plenty of girls tell me that they were the biggest they've ever had, or the best they've ever had, and I just ignore them. Maybe they're telling the truth, but probably not. Either way, I don't give a shit, and that's why when women tell me this, I ignore them. Now, fortunately for me, this was never a password of mine because I never really bought it. Password number 3. You're the first guy I've ever done that with. This goes back to law number 28 that I just talked about. And I'll tell you a quick story. I'll actually tell you a very quick, interesting story here. I had a fight party at my place for Mayweather-Pacquiao back in May of 15. May 2nd, 2015. Had a bunch of people over for the fight. You know, I allowed people to bring whoever they wanted. I don't know. They're probably, maybe 25, 30 people crammed into my, tiny apartment. But it was a good time. Mayweather won decisively as usual. Anyway, I started smashing one of the girls who came to the party. Her name was Jennifer. And I remember her telling me, I've never had a guy be so rough with me. It's the first time I've tried it, and I love it. Now, I was extremely rough with her. I used to choke her the right way. I used to smack her. Dude, I remember one weekend. Oh, my God. I remember one weekend, dude. Oh, my God. One weekend, we had so much rough sex that the next weekend, I went over there, like her left ass cheek was almost completely black and blue. She had bruises on her upper and inner thighs. Like, I really beat this girl's ass, right? And she used to text me talking about how sore she was and how she liked it. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sore and I love it. Like, if I move a certain way, I can feel it. Anyway, Jennifer's a freak. Guys, I did not believe her for 1 second. Yes, we had great sex. She did whatever I wanted. It was great. But there's no way that I believe that it was the first time she had ever been thrown around in bed like that. No reason. Anyway, girls will tell you, you are the first guy I've ever had unprotected sex with. You're the only guy I've ever had unprotected sex with. But then a week later, you find out she's got 2 kids. Girls will tell you, that's the first time I've ever let a guy go backdoor on me, forgetting that she told you about the backdoor sausage party she had in college with the football team on the train tracks, if you know what I mean. Right? Girls will tell you, that's the first time I've ever been tied up, but she forgot to tell you that her last boyfriend was Christian Grey. Devin in the chat says, watch someone clip that out of context. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I beat her ass in bed. I beat her ass in bed means I was rough with her in bed. Yeah, they can take that out of context. I don't give a shit. They can take that out of context if they want to. They can't take Destiny's out of context. Real talk. Like Destiny said, yeah, I had to choke her out a few times. Shit got crazy. That ain't out of context, bro. That's an admission. Anyway, girls will tell you that's the first time I've worn heels while getting pounded out, but then forgot to tell you that her ex-boyfriend, some douchebag named Donovan, who never met a pair of heels he didn't like. Now, keep in mind, they don't just use this for sexual situations. They also use this for emotional and circumstantial situations. You're the first guy I've fallen so hard so fast for. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever introduced to my parents. You're the first guy, you're the only guy I've ever introduced to my friends. You're the first guy, the only guy I've ever introduced to my kids. You're the first guy, the only guy I've ever cooked for, and on and on and on. If a woman ever calls you her first or only, it is 374% bullshit. She told her last 14 boyfriends exactly the same thing. Never forget that. Never, ever forget that. Password number 4. Oops, where did it go? Did I? 3, 5, 6, 7. It looks like I passed over. Password number 4. I want to have children with you. Whew, that's a big one. Now, this particular password taps into another male instinct. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Right? Every one of these passwords taps into some sort of natural male instinct. This is how all girls operate, gentlemen. Anyway, this one taps into a man's instinct to spread his seed, pass on his genes and his legacy. And women know this. Newsflash, guys. She doesn't want your kids. She wants your commitment. And if if lying to you about wanting to have your kids is a means to an end, then in her mind, so be it. But she doesn't want kids just to be having kids. She doesn't want a kid with you just because she says she wants a kid with you. No. She wants access to your resources. Going back to Tatiana, she told me she wanted a copy of me. She told me, Donovan, I want a little boy just like you. We talked about it all the time. She used to send me, this woman used to send me pictures of mixed babies all the time. We used to come up with names for them, talk about where he or she would go to school, all that stuff. Now just think about this, guys. Think about this. I am over 5 years into my Crimson Capsule Renaissance, and I am actually entertaining thoughts of having a child with this woman. That's how powerful these passwords are. When I say that these passwords bypass your red pill conditioning, I'm not kidding. I was Donovan Sharpe, Vegas slut slaying, Audi driving, powder sniffing, stripper dating shark, and I am actually thinking about having a child with a woman who wasn't even my girlfriend. I thought she was my girlfriend, as you guys heard in the clip earlier. Anyway, Tatiana used that strategy to keep her hooks in me, and it worked very well, worked like a charm. Women know that most men want to have kids. They do. And again, keep in mind, I've never wanted to have kids until I met her. When I found out that I was the side dude, that went away. That's how powerful that was. Women know that most men want kids. They know that it is in our DNA to pass on our DNA. And when a woman says she wants to have children with you, it's like she is choosing you. And our masculine firmware knows that a woman can only give birth to so many children, and the fact that out of every man on the face of the earth, she is choosing you to procreate with, guys, that has a powerful effect on a man. I'm here to tell you. And if you are not aware of this, you will not be able to help yourself. I speak, again, from personal experience, trust me. Women tap into this and they exploit it to keep you around and make you believe that she actually wants to have your children for no other reason, but that she wants your DNA to make a baby with. That has a gravitational pull on a planet 10 times the size of Earth. Man, do not, I repeat, do not allow women to trick you into thinking she wants to have a child with you. It is not about you. It is about exploiting you. Nothing more. Nothing more. Password number 5. I'm sure we've all heard this one before. I've never felt this way about anyone. This is a go-to favorite for girls. And even though most men are probably aware of this, they still fall for it. Every one of us in here has heard this. We all know it's bullshit, but we still fall for it. Right? Look, check it out. We know she's been engaged twice, right? We know she's been engaged twice. We know she's had at least 2 abortions. You know she's had 6 boyfriends in the last 6 months. You know it took her forever to get over her last ex-boyfriend. But you still believe the way she feels about you is unlike she's ever felt? Unlike anything she's ever felt for anyone? Ever? If you believe this when a woman tells you this, this is on you, dude. I'm sorry. Even the most, oh my God, even the most blue-pilled, immersed dudes know that this is never true. If she says this to you, I've never felt this way about anyone before, you need to have one foot out the door. Because at this point, you know she's probably getting desperate. Password number 6. This is a big one. Baby, you own me. Law number 1 of the 49 Laws of Sharpe, as well as my opening statement in my theme, is what class? A woman never belongs to you. It is just your turn. And here's the thing, guys. Women know they don't belong to you. They know that there is not a man on the face of the earth that will ever truly own them forever. But again, when women use these passwords, they are tapping into a natural male instinct. This is why they're able to manipulate men so easily with a strategy. You own me, gentlemen, and I want you to really listen to this. You own me is accessing a man's DNA in ways that go as far back as the beginning of time. It also has little notes and traces of dom-sub relationships. When a woman actually tells her that you own her, what she's playing at is she's making you believe that subconsciously she cannot live. Subconsciously she cannot leave unless you decide to let her go. Unless you decide to let her go. Men have no idea that when a woman tells him this, it automatically switches his mind into I possess her mode. I own her, and because she belongs to me, she can't go anywhere because she is my possession. What this does, guys, is very dangerous. It tamps down our instinct to protect a woman from herself. In other words, believing that you actually possess a woman causes you to take a laissez-faire, lackadaisical approach to protecting a woman from herself. You'll let her go to bars and clubs with her girlfriends because, quote, she's not going anywhere and she belongs to me. She's not going to hook up with anybody because she is my possession. I'm the biggest and the best she's ever had. The guys who go the most mental, the most crazy, when they find out that they've been cheated on, are likely the men who are told, you own me, or something similar to that, by their girlfriends. Never, and I mean never, ever believe a woman who says that you own her. Number 7, the last and final password. I think I'm falling in love with you. This is the Hail Mary of all passwords, gentlemen. Women go to this one when all else fails. She's tried all the other passwords, and they haven't worked. So she's trying this one as a last-ditch effort to fool you into thinking that she's worth committing to before she's actually proven her worth. Women tend to use this one when they sense that you're about to leave or sense that you're not going to commit. A lot of times they do it out of desperation, right? We see it on The Bachelor all the time. Guys. We'll see a woman who had a bad day or is involved in some sort of drama, right? Then the other girls are running to The Bachelor that tattles on her and, she's thinking she's on her way out. She'll pull the, I think I'm falling in love with you card to try to stay in the Bachelor mansion for another week. I'm falling in love with you is also a litmus test to see if they can manipulate you. And if you were stripper Kate, right? What she says, she knows she's got you. If a woman tells you she thinks she's falling in love with you, just answer, well, it's about time. You'll both piss her off and turn her on at the same time. Again, I speak from personal experience. There are many, many, many more passwords. And you guys, I would encourage you to put your passwords in the chat so that we can all be aware of what they are. But what they all have in common, what all of these passwords have in common, is that they are designed to make you feel special or unique. They're designed to make you feel that she can't get from anyone what she gets from you. She won't cheat on me. She feels safe with me. I protect her. She won't fuck around on me. I've got the biggest dick she's ever had, and I fuck her the best. She wants to have my kid, so why would she step out on me? Here's what most men don't consider when women tell them these things. And I really need you guys to listen closely, because this is where we get tripped up. This is what we don't consider when women tell us these things. Okay, so she feels safe with you. Even if that were true, do you really think you're the only man she has ever felt safe with? Did it ever occur to you that she feels safe with you? Then I'll put it to you this way. Did it ever occur to you that even though she feels safe with you, that she's felt safer with other men in her past? Or that she feels safer with other men now? So you're the first guy she's ever had anal sex with, huh? Then why did she suggest it? Why did it seem like she had done this before? Oh, I'm sorry. You thought it was your golden cock that made her want to take you in her ass. That's right. You're special. Your girl wants to have kids with you, huh? Did she explain her first 2 abortions to you? You think you're the first guy she's wanted to have kids with? You think you're the last? The point is, gentlemen, is that you are not special. You are not unique. She has swallowed other men's salty loads. Guys, she has swallowed cum from other men. You are not the first guy she fucked on the Ferris wheel. You're not the only man she's told she wants to have kids with. She's had bigger cocks than her, and she has definitely been fucked better. Do not make the egregious mistake of allowing a woman to make you feel unique or special. Do not allow a woman to make you feel like you are one in a million. No, you are one of a million. You are a dime a fucking dozen. Yeah, but I'm red pill aware and I live the red pill life. Oh, is that right? So that means she's telling you the truth, right? Because you're Captain fucking Red Pill. Women tell you the truth all the time, right? Even if she were telling the truth in any of these incidents, don't you think for 1 second that you're the only one on her radar? Women always have a backup plan in case you don't take the bait. And remember, gentlemen, remember, if one password doesn't work, women will keep trying until they find it. They will keep trying until I find it. I feel safe with you, Donovan. Now, my response would be like, well, of course you do. I'm bigger than you are. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try this one. I want to have your children, Donovan. My response today would be, yeah, get in line. Okay, that didn't work. You have the biggest dick ever, Donovan. Your response, if I had a nickel for every time a woman told me I was the biggest or the best she'd ever have, I'd have a lot of nickels. Okay, that didn't work, and so on and so forth. If a woman tries to make you feel unique or special, to give you the impression that what they get from you can't be gotten anywhere else, she's manipulating you. Of course your girl has had bigger dicks than her. She went to the University of Miami and hung out in the athletic dorms. Of course she wants to have kids with you. Her last 10 boyfriends know she's batshit crazy and fucked her with 8 condoms on. You are not special. You are not special. I had a client tell me a while back, and this is actually funny. I had a client tell me a while back that a woman he's seeing told him that she was a huge germaphobe. Right? She doesn't like touching anybody or anything. Everything is nasty and disgusting. But for some reason, he told me, she said, I just can't keep my hands off you. Well, apparently she couldn't keep her hands off the guy she walked up to her hotel room with when a private investigator caught it all on camera. True story, guys. True story. Know your passwords, gentlemen. Because these women out here are constantly trying to hack your brain. They're trying to figure out what that shortcut is, what the cheat code is. They're trying to figure out which Trojan horse is going to get them through the gates to wreak havoc on your life. They're not going to try to do it the hard way, guys. They're not going to. They're not trying to do it the right way. But trust me when I tell you, if you don't figure out what your password is, there is a 394% chance that she will. And if she figures out your password before you do, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Understand this, gentlemen. Women are only as genuine as their mission dictates. Let me repeat that. Women are only as genuine as their mission dictates. If something she does or says makes you feel special or unique, you need to tamp down those feelings. You need to shrug off what she did or said and understand that all she is trying to do is to lull you into a false sense of security so that she can drain you of your time, your attention, your energy, your resources, and your sanity while she fucks Kevin in the sales department every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon when you think she's at lunch with Jenny from accounting and Dave the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not be headed to jail for another probation every Saturday afternoon when you think she's having her weekly tea and talk with her bestie. The Roadblock 85 with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Says women's ability to find our passwords is proof they know more than what they let on about men want. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Big shout out to Big Mo who's in the building. Wait a minute. Come on. Come on. There we go. Shout out to Big Mo who is in the building. Says women are only as genuine as their mission dictates. Oh, yes, sir. You know it. You know it. King Life says, I realized that women will force a baby on a man she wants to keep in life. If she marries a man while she is still fertile and keeps only pets all around, she doesn't want a lasting relationship. Wow. Very astute observation. Very, very astute observation. Let me go up here and read a few more. I'll be starting my breakdown, continuing my breakdown of Married at First Sight here in a few. If you would, Devin, go ahead and put the link. Go ahead and put the link in the chat, and I'll pin it for you. Jaeger Juarez says, I've never done this before. Classic one, absolutely. King of Leao says, the 304s are black belt. Most women are white belt, at least blue belt. Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, most women are black belts, dude. They really, really are. And if they're attractive... 21st Century Viking says, in my humble opinion and experience, she should feel protected, not safe. For a woman, feeling safe can be boring. Keep her on her toes, guys. Okay. We're talking about physical protection. Like, when she says, I feel safe with you, she's talking about physically. But I hear what you mean. King of Leao says, but taller women are better for your offspring. So, I don't care. I think Tatiana she was small. She was like 5'2". She's like 5'2". Allison, dude, Jesus Christ. Like she was small. Jesus Christ. I swear to God. And I remember one time we had just stopped smashing. And she's a country. She's like, damn, you got a big ass dick. And I just didn't believe her. I did not believe her. I didn't believe her. I was 21. I think she was 19. I think she was 18 or 19. She may have been telling the truth. Who knows? Who knows? King of Leao says, I prefer taller women because your kids will be taller, increasing the probability of your genes getting past the next generation. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, King of Leao. MLD says he wants to have children with a tall woman. He's like, I want to have kids with an Amazon. He's like, I want my baby mama to be 6'4". Greg Prince says, thank you for your honesty. Absolutely. Joss Morning says, beat it the right way. Of course. King Life says, if she never sucked the D before and she got you done in 4 minutes and God, you pushing her up because she knows she's got you in a corner. She a freaky ass liar. Man. Yo, don't be fucking with, I'm telling you right now, don't be fucking with these bitches who can make you blow your load in like 30 seconds with their mouth. If she can make your toes curl and your eyes roll to the back of your head at the same time, we got a problem. Harley Toller says, W. Jennifer for taking the black pipe. Yes. You know, it's interesting. Jennifer on a scale of 1 to 10, she was average. She was average. I mean, she was attractive enough. Like, she was attractive enough, but she's by far and away not even close to the hottest girl I've ever had sex with. Jennifer and I, the best sex I've ever had was with Jennifer. I can freely admit that. Jennifer was the girl. We had the best sexual chemistry. It was incredible. It was a crazy relationship, but you know how it is. King Life says Destiny never replied to that either. Hang on, guys. As you guys can see, I'm starting to lose weight. I am now fitting back into my. I'm fitting back into my large yabetas. Nike Slim says the train gang strikes again. Yep. 21st Century Viking says silent shakes with my rod of God. Donovan, you're cracking me up. Yeah, you know. I call it the rod of God, the dick of destruction, the penis of punishment. You know, I have fun with it. G. Lee says, I had one Russian girl tell me she wanted my kids after the first time I smashed. I ran for the hills. Man. King Life says, strong Russian accent. You will make a great daddy to Mother Russia. CJ in the 562 says, Donovan, this info is gold. You should turn it into its own ebook. Many courses. The masses need this one. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, man. Tactical Mobile says, damn, where can I get these laws? Go to donovansharpe.com/49laws. 49 laws. Okay. Alex Fowler says it activates a sense of inner power in us, our masculine confidence. Man, I'm trying to tell you. I am trying to tell you. Finance Man says, how do you know it's salty? WTF. Oh, boy. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody knows that sperm is salty, Finance Man. Like, dude, what are you? What are you, 15? How do you know it's salty? What the fuck? Ay, ay, ay. Finance Man says, I am 1 in a million. Yes, you are, my friend. You are absolutely 1 in a million. That I will agree with. Finance Man says 8 condoms actually may get her pregnant. Okay, so Finance Man knows everything. 15-year-old Finance Man knows everything. Got it. Big Mo with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that very much. Says even a woman who can't name 3 countries because, quote, she's bad at geometry can be able to get everything she needs out of you if you underestimate her. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. You are not lying about that. King Life says MLD is going to be carried into his and Pearl's new home. My Pearl. I don't know. MLD is not exactly Pearl's type. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hey, man, look. I'm just keeping it real. Man. Pearl likes the brothers. It is what it is. She likes the brothers. Hang on a second. Okay. Square Table Degenerate says, not rocking 12 inches, just a funny joke. Yeah. Blizzanity with the $5 super chat says, from your experience, what's the difference between I want kids versus I want his kids? Yeah, if a woman wants children with you, she will say she wants children with you. So. Yeah, man. Yeah. Pearl is, MLD's skin tone is not, not dark enough for the lovely and talented Pearl. All right, guys. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen now is I am now going to. Let me go and. Let me see. And I'll tell you something else too, man. I seem to be losing my voice, dude. Ay, ay, ay. Like my voice is not as strong as it normally is, but I will continue to soldier on. Where is... Oh, I got to share it. There we go. Share. I've also got spin class tonight at 6. So looking forward to that. Kevin Spamuels, that's enough with the bow jokes, dude. Kevin Spamuels is killing me, man. He's killing me. Nike Slim says,
the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yes, sir. You know it. Hang on a second. There we are. Suffix Finest says Pearl is going to marry Kyrie Irving. No, Pearl does not have enough sexual or relationship market value to marry somebody like Kyrie. That's just not going to happen. Her celebrity crush is... who is her celebrity crush? I forgot. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. All right, guys. That is going to do it for this, the 981st edition of TSR Live. My thanks to all of my super chatters, my members, and everybody in between. Be sure to come over to Rumble and listen, man. Finance Man, you're invited too, man. You need this education. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in just a few.